Hey guys, it's Di, and I was requested to do an overview video on Balenciaga after I just posted the recent Balenciaga reveal, and I'll try to just make this a quick video with just some general information. If you are looking at Balenciaga bags and maybe new to the brand, don't know much about it, that was what I was requested to do for this first video. And apparently there's a few of my LV ladies out there that have been scoping on Balenciaga, so thanks to those that sent me messages asking different questions, and I'll just try to do a quick run through and touch on a little bit of everything. This is by no means supposed to be an all-inclusive guide to Balenciaga, but just kind of an introduction. And I don't consider myself an expert in any brand. I'm just a handbag enthusiast, and you just pick up different things along the way after buying brands for a number of years. Up to about 2008, I was really into Balenciaga, and then I started to kind of switch over into Louis Vuitton. But I can talk in general about some specific questions that people had, and if you have any further questions, feel free to leave them on this video, and I will try to help out as well. So the first thing that I thought I would touch on is the specific terminology for Balenciaga. If you're new, you may not know what some of the words that are commonly associated with Balenciaga bags may be. And right here I have a Balenciaga City bag. This is what I consider to be the most iconic style out of the Balenciaga bags, pretty much what I consider started it all for them. And it really has become a classic. It's been around for about a decade now, and it's just really kind of a staple in their collection. It's a great medium-sized handbag. They have moto styles that are smaller than this. They have some motorcycle styles that are larger than this, but this is really just kind of a great basic everyday size. So on the City, you can see that it has the two handles and then also the longer strap, like a number of the motorcycle bags do. And here on the handles, this is a terminology that you may have commonly seen or be wondering about. This is called the rivet here on the back of the handle. You may be asked if you're looking at a pre-owned bag to figure out, if you have pictures of that and that sort of thing. If you're asked about the rivet, it's this piece on the back of the handle right here that should either be a flat circle or a notched circle. Then here on the side, you can see that this particular bag has a shoulder strap that attaches. Not all the styles do, but the ones that do have a little detachable clip here, and it attaches to the O-ring, and this has what's called on it the bail. And so this bail may also be something that if you're looking in the pre-owned market, you definitely want to have pictures of this area. It's this oval piece right here that connects to the clip, and then that clip connects to the O-ring on the bag. So those are two pieces that people may have questions about. Also, you can see that the handles on the City have whip stitching on the top of them, and also there are no feet on the bottom of the City, and this bag has regular hardware. There are different hardware options. Right now I have in my collection this regular hardware. I also, as you guys just saw in my last video, have this giant hardware bag. This is also now called sometimes G21 hardware. This is the larger style hardware, and this is the original giant hardware that they first came out with in 2007. And this hardware, they have transitioned to a smaller version of this. So like I said in my reveal video, imagine if you had this type of hardware with this look and this texture, but then it was closer to this size, and that's called G12 hardware. I will kind of direct you to BJ Taylor's video. She actually has a great video on a G12 hardware City, and so she's one of the people that had questions for this video, but I will direct you to her video if you want to see what G12 hardware looks like. But this is the larger style 21 hardware. I just call it giant hardware because I'm from back in the good old days when this was the only hardware style other than regular hardware, but that's the two hardware styles compared. This one over here is the part-time that I showed in my video previous. So that's the basic terminology that you might see for Balenciaga. And so down on the inside of the City, there's just this one zippered pocket here in the back. It's, it's an okay, decent size just to stick a little something down inside. I like to stick my mirror and the tags and things like that down in there. I find that they're a really good fit. And then here in the City, there is a silver plate. And this was actually another one of the things I was asked to talk about. So the next question is, in what instances does a bag have a silver plate like this bag does right here, this first City that I showed at the beginning, versus a leather bag like what's down inside this part-time? And this style has the giant hardware. You can see it just has a leather tag here that says Balenciaga pairs, and then you flip it up and it has numbers on the back and made in Italy down below. And the best short answer that I can say for this, if you're new to Balenciaga and you're wondering about that, is it's style dependent. So there's actually only a few styles that have this silver tag on the interior, and they're actually kind of the staple styles that Balenciaga started with. The styles that have the silver tag are the First, the City, the Work, and the Weekender, and they are all kind of this kind of basic moto style. Then a number of the other regular hardware bags have leather tags with no silver tag on top of them, and that is the Twiggy, the Day, and then also some of the men's bags, the Versace and that sort of thing. And then for Giant hardware, all Giant hardware bags, G21 bags, have these leather tags. So no silver tag on them and just a leather tag like what you see here. So if you've been wondering, if you have multiple Balenciaga bags and you're wondering like why does this one have it, this one doesn't, it's style dependent. So anytime that you have a City, unless it's limited edition and it didn't come with that one, you'll have a silver tag here that has the Balenciaga Paris at the top, the 115748, the style number, with the matching style number on the back, and made in Italy. Another thing I was asked about the tags was how to figure out the year of the tag or what these letters mean at the end. If you have a bag that has the silver tag in there, you can quickly find out what color it is and what year it came from just by looking at this tag. So it has Balenciaga Paris here at the top, and then it says NO, and then some numbers after that, and then there's a letter at the end. That letter is going to designate what season the bag came from. So for instance, this letter is V, and V means that the bag came from spring, summer 2013. And then underneath that, there's the 6-digit code that indicates the style. The 115748 is for the City. And then on the back, there's the matching 115748 with some additional 6 code numbers and the made in Italy. It's a really quick way to figure out what year bag you're looking at. Balenciaga just goes backwards through the alphabet. So if you start with 2007 with this bag V, then you go back to the next season after that, fall, winter 07, which is U, and you keep on going backwards through the alphabet, remembering that there's 2 seasons for every year. Spring, summer at the beginning of the year, fall, winter at the end of the year. So you can quickly determine what season it is by putting 2 letters for each year and going backwards through the alphabet. If 07 are the letters V and U, then that means that 08 is going to be the letters T and S. We have an 08 Balenciaga City back here that has a silver plate, and the letter on this is S. So I know that this bag is fall winter 08, and I know that this bag is spring summer 07. So you're just going to go backwards through the alphabet for each year. So hopefully that makes sense about the tags. I briefly tried to touch on that a little bit more detail in my How to Read Balenciaga Tags video, but if you go backwards through the alphabet, starting in 2005, there's the letters Z, A, and Z, and then you'd be going backwards with Y, skip X, and W, and you can go backwards from there. I made a little chart because I know it makes a lot more sense visually to look at it, but if you start up here with 05, and then 04 has B and C, and then there's nothing prior to that. You go down and start with AZ, YW is 06, VU is 07, TS is 08, RQ is 09, PO is 10, NM is 11, LK is 12, and 2013 brings us up to J. So it really works out better for me to see it visually like this, and I know you guys probably can't see that, but it's one of the most confusing things to explain, but once you get the kind of code down, it really is one of the simplest things to understand. Another question that someone sent me was, in what year did they switch from Chevrolet leather, which is what this Aquamarine City from 2007 is, to Agnew leather, which is what this City bag from 2008 is? And the answer to your question is right here. They switched from the Chevrolet leather, which is a goatskin leather, and something that, you know, avid Balenciaga collectors really got into the brand for, I believe a lot of us. They switched between the fall-winter 2007 season and then started the Agnew or lambskin leather in 2008. So bags 2008 and forwards would have the lambskin or Agnew leather, and then bags previous to that in 2007 and backwards would have the Chevrolet leather. There was a few exceptions in the fall-winter 2007 season, like Violet, and the violet color could come in either or type of leather, and it really just depended on the specific bag. So other than a few exceptions during that fall-winter 2007 season, the switch was between fall-winter 2007 and then when 2008 started over, that was when the switch for leather was made. Another question that BJ Taylor had, she gave me lots of good questions. So if you guys have more questions, feel free to let me know down below and I'll do my best to try to answer them for you guys. But the next question was, when was the Giant hardware started? Because you were only able to get this after a certain year. Prior to 2007, the only hardware on the bags was either a pewter hardware in this size or this brass hardware. And the pewter hardware was from 2004 and back. And then they went to this brass hardware, which is commonly called, I just call it regular hardware. Then in 2007, in the spring-summer season, they introduced this Giant hardware. In the spring-summer season, it was only available in gold. And then in fall-winter, it was available in silver, in gold and silver. So I really love that because I'm a big silver hardware person. So it's actually really easy to figure out what season this bag is from because it has the Giant hardware in the silver and also has the feet on the bottom. You know that it has to be from fall-winter 2007 because that is literally the only season that this combination was available. So this is a little bit of a rare bag and I love the silver hardware on it. I think that this is just a very classic combination. And then later on they introduced a rose gold larger hardware, and then after that they introduced the G12 hardware, and I will link BJ Taylor's video down below. That's a fairly newer, within the past few years, hardware, and so it looks really great, I think, especially even on the city size. Another question that people said, what are the prices on Balenciaga bags? If you're not particularly familiar with them, then you may be wondering, are these like in the lower hundreds range? Are these like $3,000? How expensive are these bags? And so in general, retail on these bags is around $1,000 all the way up to $2,000. The hardware bags with the larger hardware is a little bit more expensive than the bags with the regular hardware. Generally per style, it is in the $300 to $400, just depending on the style. And they've added a lot of different styles, like the Velo and the Town, and there's so many more different styles from when I was in it in 2007. When you're buying in the pre-owned market, prices can really vary. It really just depends on the condition of the bag, how much it's been used, whether it has a lot of corner wear, anything with the leather, whether it has fading. Some of the brighter colors for Balenciaga, especially the blues, are known to fade, and some of the older colors are even known to yellow. So it really depends on the condition of the leather and what color it is. Some colors are more sought after than others, and also how much wear the handles have. If you use the handles a lot, if you have hands that have a lot of oil on them, maybe use lotion a lot, the handles on the bag will darken and soften over time. So you can see that this bag has been used a lot more than this bag ever was, and so these handles are still crisp and look very new. And these handles have softened up over time. They're a little bit more pliable. They're not exactly sticky to the touch, but they've got a little bit of pliability to them. And so that this is more like what a used Balenciaga would be. And Balenciagas do, in my opinion, get better over time. I actually love buying in the pre-owned market for Balenciaga because I feel like the previous owners have really done part of the work for me. They've, made the bag smushy and given it a lot of character, so I love that about Balenciaga. But then if a bag has excessive wear, or if it has, a moderate amount of wear, that will kind of lower the price from there. So retail prices vary wildly on Balenciaga bags, and some of the styles like the Twiggy are maybe a little bit less known. You can pick up one of those for in the $500 to $700 range. For cities, the used price on these can be anywhere from around, I'd say average range of like $800 to $1,200. It just really depends on how much has been used and the condition of the bag. Giant hardware bags, they started out at a more expensive retail, and they usually will go for a little bit more in the used market. So again, it all depends on style and what specific bag you're looking at. And I would say just do lots of research, narrow down what color you're looking at, and then research that bag over a period of time to really see what it goes for on average. Which brings me to the last question, which I will answer. And I've answered this in other videos for Louis Vuitton, but I get really asked a lot about where I would suggest buying pre-owned bags and where I get my own. You guys all know that I have said that I'm in private groups. I really prefer to buy in those when possible, but I do have two consignment shops that I would like to recommend to you guys. I feel good about recommending them. I've either dealt with them in the past or met their owners, and I feel like they're really great, reputable places to look for authentic designer items and Balenciaga items. The first place is Yoji's Closet, and I will put the links down below. But Yoji's Closet has Balenciaga items. I feel like their pricing is fair for what they offer, and they also have really great descriptions and lots of pictures. The other place is Anne's Fabulous Finds, and Anne's Fabulous Finds is out of Michigan, and they are really great to work with. If they're looking for a specific style, you can actually send them an email, and you can get on their email list, so anytime that they get a new Balenciaga item in, or a specific type of item, like a part-time or whatnot, they can send you an email and let you know that they have those new items in. So they also have great selection to browse through, so those would be the two sites that I recommend you guys going to look at if you're interested in the pre-owned market. The last place I will mention, just specifically to deal with Balenciaga items, and I don't believe I've ever mentioned this in a Louis Vuitton video because obviously it wasn't pertinent to them necessarily, and it's more specific to Balenciaga bags. The other place I would recommend you look at is HG Bags Online. And Erica is the owner of that site. She is fairly well known, I think, in the Balenciaga community. And I have purchased a lot of things from Erica in the past, obviously back more when I was into Balenciaga a lot. She has a really great website. You can look at her items. They're all absolutely authentic. And she actually runs her own little Balenciaga boutique online. She sometimes has a limited selection, so she may not have exactly the combination that you're looking for, because obviously there's a world of combinations out there. But I would suggest looking at her website, seeing what she has available. Sometimes she has pre-owned items in the Balenciaga market on there, and then most recently I think she's just turned to, she has the current season items available at a slight discount. So that is pretty much my introduction to Balenciaga, and hopefully it's been slightly helpful. If you're just starting out, you don't know really where to start, I've just tried to give a brief overview of a lot of different parts of information, and really it's such an intricate brand because they come out with colors 2 seasons a year, and then anywhere from like 10 to 15 new colors. There's a lot of different variations out there, and so it really just takes time to learn all the different things about the colors, about the bags, but I can say that they are very lovely bags. If you're drawn to liking how they look, I would say it's definitely something worth looking into. I absolutely love these bags, and I think that they just are a very unique bag with a lot of personality. So please let me know if you guys have any questions, and thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.